Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hold on, y'all. Mm-hmm. What it do? What it do? What it do? Fresh off of work, about to put in some more work. Yep. This is June Heat. Heat TV. Now, the title of this show, this Heat TV episode, is it's called "What Kind of Advice You Giving?" Somebody know what I'm talking about. We all have given advice to people going through something, in their personal life, relationships, whatever. But what kind of advice you really giving is the question. Now, when I say what kind of advice you giving, it's more so asking like, what place is the advice coming from? Should I say? Uh, more than I give it about 80% of the time. People tend to give advice from a place of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just say this. In my opinion, there's only one way you can really truly give some great advice. Is if you step outside of yourself and everything that you are, anything that's groups you in. If you step outside of that and see the broader picture, that is more good advice than anything. Now, when I say step out of what groups you is basically what I'm saying is, if you're a man and another man asks you for some advice, the two things you can't give him advice on, or two places you can't give him advice from, you can't give him advice from your point of view, your perspective, and you can't give him advice from a man or a woman's perspective. Y'all know where I'm going with this. It has to be a full human perspective. Otherwise, it's gonna sway. It's not gonna be centered advice. You because suffice to say, you can't give anybody advice when your situation is not fully at a place of being right, quote unquote. But you can't give advice from your perspective because everybody's not you. We are individuals for a reason. So you can't give advice from a place of yourself or what you would do. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's not you. Everybody don't think like you. Everybody's not on the level mentally and spiritually as you. So, therefore, you cannot give that kind of advice to anybody and expect it to be just wholeheartedly true. Now, the other thing, you can't give advice from a man's perspective because as a man talking to a man, you tend to fall into the man rules, the guy code, and all this old other dumb shit that will stop you from giving good advice. And that's the same goes for women. Like you as a woman can't give a woman advice from only a woman's point of view because that's only one-sided. I see it all the time, especially in women. No offense to no women, but especially in women, you see it. Women will try to give each other advice from a place of first of all what they would do themselves, and second of all what a woman's point of view. Now, if you're just thinking from a woman's point of view or a man's point of view, how will the other side achieve the balance that's needed to have the correct advice given? It has to be a balance. If there's no balance, it's not centered. So therefore, the advice, you taking a chance. Excuse me. Taking a chance of swaying one way or the other. Now, I try my best to not even give advice unless it's absolutely needed. And when it is needed, I do venture outside of myself, outside of my gender, outside of my race, whatever box. I give it from the human's point of view that is above and that can see the whole landscape of the situation. But most of the time, is people don't do the same thing, man. They give advice from a place of bitterness, and you know, it's just it's not the right type, because you try to sway people to do what you want them to do, or what you would do instead of what's the right thing to do. Like, and y'all see it all the time. You pass by every fucking quote unquote relationship experts page, and they giving you all this advice. You got men giving advice to women, which is you got women giving advice to other women, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But you can't give advice on something you personally haven't experienced or seen somebody grow through. So why even give advice and you know it's not coming from a place of center, of balance? You know what I'm saying? Why give somebody some advice telling them what you would do, or what a man would do, or what a woman would do, instead of what a human would do? You get what I'm saying? I know y'all get it. But and I came to this topic because I get so tired of seeing it. Like, I saw a woman today on Facebook, and she called herself giving advice to the women out there, which it was all fucking wrong. It's like, first of all, she was trying to illustrate to the females some things that actually turn men off about women. First of all, unless you're a man, you don't know. So how can you tell somebody else or tell a group of women what a man likes and what he doesn't like if every man is an individual, first of all? So you can't tell anybody any advice. A group of people are giving them advice, and you don't have the answers yourself. Like, unless you just went out and took a survey and actually gathered data and information to know, have a consensus of the people, so-called, you can't do stuff like that. Like, this misleading to people. And you know how weak-minded a lot of people is these days. So you can't just be putting advice out there, and it's not right. It's not something you would actually do. It's not something you know of anybody that would actually fucking do. Like she was spouting off all type of shit. Men don't like it when your nails and your fingers don't match and this. I'm like, man, men don't care about the men I know don't give a fuck about that. Put it that way. Like a lot of men, y'all think we just want this old made up version because you may have got cheated on, or your man is side eyeing the fine girl, or whatever. That's your man. That's not every man. Like that's one of the biggest problems in society today is we try to group each other in on every fucking thing. Like all men are cheaters. All women do this. All men do that. Like no, we are individuals for a reason. That's what makes us beautiful people and humans. We all are different. We might have the same skin color. We all, suffice to say, was born with a brain and a heart. That's the extent of the similarities in society. We all was born with a brain and a heart. Like so, everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have a different view on life. You can't make generalizations based on what you've been through. Because if everybody did that, we would be doomed. If you ask me some stuff that turn me off with a woman, it's a few things that turn me off about women. Number one thing that turns me off about women or to a woman is putting a price on your pussy. And excuse my language to vagina. Excuse my language. But this is the whole notion that pussy has a price, and because you have a pussy and you fucking a man is supposed to do certain things for you. That right there is at the top of my list of things that I fucking hate about women. Like if you got a price on your pussy, don't even come my way. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't expect me to feel sorry for you. Don't expect me to give you anything. No attention, no nothing. Because to me, that's stupid. Like, let's just put it out there, be real. And I love women to death. I love their bodies. I love most of everything about them. Except for a few things. And that happens to be the top thing on my list. Like, I cannot stand when a woman puts a price on herself or her time and her pussy. Like, it don't make sense. Yes, you can have babies. Great for y'all. Y'all wonderful creatures for that. But guess what? You cannot make that baby without a seed. Which you get from where? A man. Next. Your pussy doesn't mean shit. Like, let's just be real about it. Your pussy does not mean nothing without a dick. And vice versa. Fellas, your dick don't mean shit without a pussy. Like, when it comes to sex, it's a two-way street always. Pussy and dick, they go together. They like, otherwise, it's what you use to fucking urinate. That's the only worth it has. For you to piss, whether standing up or sitting down, that's what your genitals are for. To piss. And provide seeds, eggs, whatever the whole, y'all know the shit. Don't act stupid. But, yeah, man. Like, pussy don't mean nothing without a dick. And dick doesn't mean nothing without a pussy. Therefore, they are fucking equal. The whole notion that y'all women try to come up with, saying that acting like you of a more higher value, no. No, no, fucking no. No. Get it out of your head, women. The faster you learn this shit is when you will finally get what life is about. Because a lot of y'all are running around here so fucking confused. You run around thinking a man is supposed to do something for you because he's a man and you're a woman. No, it don't fucking work like that. That's one thing that pisses me off about when I hear, especially a black woman, and I hate to go to these places, but it needs to be said. When you hear a black woman speaking about Black Lives Matter and equality and all this old other shit, I don't be respecting that shit at all. Because if you want equality, let's start at the fucking source. Man, woman. That's the first equality need to be. I'm not obligated to take care of you. I'm not obligated to do nothing. That's something I should want to do on my own because you are a great person to me and I'm a great person to you. Like gifts, that's gifts and material shit. Like I'm not obligated to fucking pay all the bills. I'm not obligated to do none of that. That's something that was made up by society and everybody fell behind it, and now it's a big ass shit show because women have this fucking idea in their mind that they pussy is worth a price. It's not. Now maybe I might be alone on this shit. I stand alone on this. Cause I'm not gonna accept this shit. But you have to be careful of what you're saying to people and what you conveying to people through your messages and through your videos and your lives and whatever you do to choose to use your platform. You gotta be careful when you're saying some of this shit because somebody might have that same idea in their head and they wondering like, oh shit, man, I might be alone in this shit. And then they hear your unorthodox opinion on it, and it just so happen to be the same as theirs. So they take that shit as a grain of salt. And they run with it. And they try to make it seem as if, you know what I'm saying, their point is right. No. It's only two things in this world, right and wrong. Like, you have to do what feels right to you. In your spirit, your soul, your energy. Yes, sir. But it's just like where you giving advice from? Like you can't give nobody advice on anything when it's not coming from a place of the center, the balance, the ultimate balance. You can't. You got to stop. Y'all got to stop doing this shit. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Instagrammers, a lot of Facebookers that like to get on and share their opinions, and it's no problem. I'm doing the same thing right here. But at the same time, you got to be cautious of some of the stuff that you are saying. You have to be conscious of the mind you are talking to, because a lot of people's minds are weak. So therefore, they will take your 2 cents and turn it into $2 million when you know it's worth 2 cents. Everybody else knows it's worth 2 cents, but to that person it hit home. Y'all got to stop doing this shit, man. I see the dude out here, they be giving advice to the women and telling them stuff about women call in and say what they look like and all this old other dumb shit. And you give them advice. Sometimes it be good advice, sometimes it don't. People need to hear the truth. But they also need to hear the truth from the center. If you're not going to speak from the center, What are you really giving? You giving something that you would do or what you think. Right? Advice is precious because some people take it. They take it and they run with it. Some people will push it to the side. Okay, that's one person's opinion. Get another person's advice. Oh, that's one person's opinion. People could do that. But some of these folks, they really taking that shit to heart. The stuff you be saying. So please stop. Please let everybody have their individuality. Let everybody come to their own conclusions. Like just like you did. If you feel in your heart of hearts, that you got it all together mentally, let somebody else come to that space. You can't bring nobody to that space. Like I had to learn that the hard way. Like you can't expect everybody to live on your terms or live how you live, do the things you do, say the things you say, feel the way you feel, because we are all individuals. We are made to have a difference of opinion. And that goes with everything from gender to race, political party, religion, all of it. Like sexual orientation, whatever. We gonna have a difference of opinion. You might find one person, just like you can meet somebody today and be like, God damn, man, me and that nigga think just alike. Me and that motherfucker think just alike. Like we got the same thoughts. We da 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 da. It's gonna be one or two things that y'all don't see the same way because y'all individuals. Everybody wasn't raised the same. Everybody wasn't brought up the same. Everybody doesn't have the same environment they grew up in. We all different for a reason. That's why the notion to me to have everybody believe in certain stories that have been in our school books or the Bible, like to have everybody thinking that same way is dangerous. That's why we're so separated, because we had to find some kind of way to be different. Like seriously, everybody was. They might have enjoyed it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Enjoyed being on one accord, but sooner or later, it has to be a difference of opinion, and that's with any topic you can bring up. I was having a talk about Earth, flat Earth, round Earth earlier with somebody. I can't expect everybody to see the Earth like I see it, just like the person who thinks it's flat can't expect everybody to see it their way. The person who thinks it's round can't think it's your perspective. Like society was given a shape and an order, and they made everybody get under this order so everybody can think the same. No, you can't. There's gonna be people like me and a few other folks that I know that's outside the box that don't believe none of this shit and come up with our own conclusions, theories. Like it's gonna be people like that out here, innovators, people who think and don't just follow what was said and you come to your own conclusions. Like that's just how the world is supposed to be. Like there's no such thing as a bad idea. Like, but I just had to get that off my chest, man, because I just get so tired of seeing females and especially females getting this bad advice from all over the place. Don't want to think for themselves and just gain their own understanding and knowledge and center themselves first of all. Like that's a big problem, period, with society is nobody wants that balance, that center. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man supposed to do this. A man supposed to do that. A man is supposed to be a fucking human. A woman is supposed to be a fucking human. First and foremost. Before you knew what the fuck a gender was, you was a human that came out of your mother, and you was a human. First, before they put all this shit in your head about what a man is supposed to be, what a woman is supposed to be, and how you're supposed to play their part and navigate through life, you're a human first. Like, that should be your go-to mindset before doing anything. That's the problem. Is so many so many women out here that missed out on life because they was told what a woman was supposed to do. So they go around life not gaining no real skills, no nothing, just on the fact that they think because a woman is supposed to stay clean, not get dirty, da 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 da. That's how we end up with a fucking unnatural, unbalanced society, because women were made to stay in the fucking house and think a certain way, do certain things, when they could be out here fucking building houses. It should be no way. You can't tell me it's not room to have an equal amount of fucking basketball players, men and women, female boxers and male boxers. It should be equal. But no, you like to see a woman that box, to see a woman that fix cars, that shit will blow a man's fucking mind. You know why? Because it's so unorthodox, it's so unnatural that you in awe when you see a woman like, damn, she can fight, she can actually box. Or see a woman, oh, she could change a fucking transmission out and da 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 da. That shit will shock you because you're not conditioned in your mind to see women as somebody who will fix a fucking car. When anybody can fix a fucking car. All you have to do is want to know how to fix a fucking car. You get what I'm saying? It has to be the balance. It got to be a balance. If there's no balance, there's no center. If there's no center, what are you really doing? But yeah. Stop giving this bad advice. Let people come to their own conclusions, like, you got to make people start using their brains. You can't think for everybody. You can't save everybody. You can't do everything for everybody. You have to do what's right for you. And if you right and you moving right, you can be an example by action. But your words you giving people, advice, not working. Just stop. I have no advice for anybody. Only advice I have for you is from the center. The only advice I can give you, be human and use your brain. That's all I can say. And with that being said, this has been Heat TV. A decently long episode for y'all. I hope I ain't tire y'all out or whatever. But feel free to get in the comments and let me know what you think. Hit me on my Facebook, Walter June Heat George. My Instagram, at June Heat _high life _God. Of course, my YouTube is June Heat. But yeah, this has been Heat TV. What kind of advice you giving? Y'all be good, no?